Some viewers may find the following video disturbing. Viewer discretion is advised.
Hey everybody, Jeff aka GCurse here. Welcome to another GCurse reviews. Today I am doing the Combiner Wars Deluxe Class Hound. Hold on, let me just... I recently got a new... God, now it's... come on. Let's see. Hold on, let me turn camera off. I recently got a new camera and I'm having to kind of tinker with it on the go. Hopefully that... Okay, there it goes. That's better. So, like I said, it's Hound, and oh my god, I fucking hate this figure. I do not like this figure. Figure? Fuck, how you want to... Even when I first bought it, I was not that happy once I got out of the package. And the main one of the instant reasons why I was not happy is, hold on, let me turn on the main camera. Hold on 1 second. One of the main reasons is because the back literally there's a back panel here that is supposed to be like the windshield and everything for this figure in alt mode, and that motherfucker, I could not move it without it popping off. That right there really kind of just pissed me the fuck off. But let's continue talking about this figure, you know. Hold on 1 second. I actually forgot to add the image, so I will be right back. I'm going to pause this and I'll be right back. Okay, so I'm back. So basically I was about to show like what the cost was. When I bought this, I got this figure back in September of 2017. It was actually part of the first major wave of me getting back into the collecting these figures. So back then, I actually had the price, what I paid for it, and then what it's currently going for on the same website. So when I bought it, I spent $37.91 for this figure, brand new. And oh my god, I just fucking regret ever paying that much for this figure. This figure is just shit. But anyway, the figure actually is still available on Amazon for $49.99. So it's gone up just actually a little under $12, give or take a few cents. But yeah, so I considering that this figure has been out for 7+ years, only to go up that much, I'm actually kind of shocked. But then again, I'm not sure if this is a highly highly sought after figure. So, but like I said, this figure is still actually available on Amazon's website. When this figure came out, when it first came out, I'm not sure if it was an exclusive. I highly doubt it, so I'm guessing that it was available at all major retailers that would sell Transformers. Okay, let's go with, now we're going to move on to the interactivity. Storage units, or weapon storage, let's say. Not counting the hands. This has two other ports for storing your weapons. One on the shoulder, well, both are on the shoulder. So you got one here, and then basically on the other side. I don't think that there's anywhere else. It doesn't look like it. So basically you got a total of 4, 2 for the shoulders and 2 for the hands. Which is kind of sad. Besides that, this figure, you know. Now you're asking me, Jeff, what came with Hound? Well, I'll tell you what came with Hound. Okay, I gotta make sure I have the right pieces. Okay, I think it's this one. But he definitely came with, I like this. It's actually a little minigun, but it's in the shape of like a pistol or maybe even an assault rifle or a submachine gun, but it's a minigun. It has a tri-barrel. I really like this. I love this accessory. Just too bad this accessory came with such a shitty figure, you know. And then, of course, it's Combiner Wars. They gotta force this useless fucking gimmick on... Well, I don't want to say it's useless. I think that combining ability should be exclusive to a few figures. When you start forcing that gimmick upon almost every figure, it ruins the uniqueness of it. It's literally the point. Like everybody, you know, like you get to be a president of the United States. You get to be the president of the United States. It loses that uniqueness. And that's why I fucking hate this product line so much. I don't really hate Titan's Return that much. I don't like the fact that the heads can come off, you know, of 99% of all those figures. But for some reason, that doesn't bother me as much as the fucking Combiner Wars. And I think, honestly, making each and every one of these figures a goddamn combiner really kind of, what's the word I'm thinking of? It compromises. It compromises what these figures could have been. And that's what really upsets me. If this figure did not have to transform into a hand, a foot, I think this could have been a lot better of a figure, but because of the fact it was either a foot or a leg, they had to kind of compromise what this figure could have done to make room for those useless functions. But as I was saying though, so it came, hold on. Stay. Okay. So it came, the Hound came with an awesome little minigun type weapon. I love this. And he came with the Titan's, or not Titan, the Combiner's hand. So it's basically the hand / foot. Sure, Hasbro, I understand, I can see it, but it's fucking stupid. But it's not, ladies and gentlemen, not only is it a foot, not only is it a hand, hold on, let me fix this. Not only is this piece of shit a hand, there you go, hand, yeah, it looks like a piece of shit, but you can also use it as a weapon. It can be a weapon. Yay! Look at this piece of shit. Yeah, it has barrels, which which still just kind of boggles the mind that a combiner would have 2 huge fucking barrels in its fist, you know. Hasbro was really stretching when it came to this fucking feature, weren't they? I would be willing to, you know, buy into it that this could have been the blaster if 2 things happened. They actually had something that went over the top to kind of hide, to kind of make it fleshed a little bit, you know. But also they got rid of the goddamn thumb. There is no way I can take this as a legitimate weapon when you have a fucking thumb giving you the finger. That's what it is. It's giving you the finger. I'm sorry. This as a weapon is as bad as useless as the fucking weapons in Titan's Return that were hollowed out so the Titan Masters could sit in them. Hasbro and their need to fucking just to screw everything up with useless fucking gimmicks. But yeah, so this, it's a foot with a weird spur. It's a hand, and the hand can be, you can angle it to be either left or right. So that at least that's kind of cool. Or like I said, you can have it as a gun, which I just do not fucking buy at all, and neither should you. Neither should you. Okay, so let's go over the visuals now. Oh my god. Visuals in this figure. Oh my god. Okay, so the coloring. It's very green, and it isn't even like, I'm not sure what it is. It is nearly the same from the counterpart, but for some reason it's just off a little bit. It's hard to explain, but it makes this figure uglier than it already is. The coloring just seems to add to the ugliness of this figure. Oh my god, I really gotta get some of that. When I get done doing this review, I'm gonna have to use some of this clear fingernail polish because this, look how loose these legs are. I'm trying to hold it still, and it keeps wanting to, it keeps sinking to one side. Oh, well, see. But overall, like I said, the coloring just makes this figure look even more shitty than it already is. When it comes to visual aesthetics, I said it before and I'll say it again, I'm not a fan of this figure. It looks cheap. I would honestly expect this to be something I would find at the dollar store or the Dollar Tree or whatever the fucking business is called, Dollar General. This is just something I would expect to find there. This I would expect, the way that it looks also, the way that this piece of shit looks, this looks like something I would expect to find on the shelf at a Dollar General under the trademark avoiding name Robot Changers, or some shit like that, like that's what I expect, because this thing does not look like a fucking transformer. It looks like something that you would expect from like a third party, not even a good third party. I'm talking about like the kind of things, the attempts to sell something that is like so fucking piss poor. When it comes to the faithfulness of the source material, I see what they're trying to do with this, sadly. Come on. Come on. Look at this. It doesn't even have any fucking friction. That side has a little bit, but I mean, okay, so it's so fucking random. I'm going to have to definitely apply some of that, fingernail polish, the clear fingernail polish to stiffen up the joints. But, I understand what they're trying to do, but this thing just, it flopped. I'm sorry. If you like this figure, you're right. You are allowed to like this. This is just my opinion. I do not get paid for my opinions because I spent a good amount of money for something and I'm not happy. And like I said, when the back part broke off, shortly after getting it, that really just kind of pisses me off. I'm just glad that I actually got a superior version of Hound. That's right, I got the Siege Hound. This is the Siege. This is the Siege Hound. I got him, and I've actually been quite happy with him. This one, not so much. But yeah, I see what they're trying to do. It's just, I think this figure deserved a few more minutes in the oven to finally become what it could have been. But then again, the fact that it was a combiner, I don't think that no matter what you could do could make this figure look that good, even as a combiner. The box art, the box art was shit. You know, the box art was a perfect perfect complement for this figure. Both of them are shitty. I'm not sure what it is. I'm just not a fan of the box art from Combiner Wars or Titans Return. Combiner Wars had some fucking weird. You know, here, let's see if I can pull it up. Give me 1 second here. I'm going to pause it 1 second. Okay, everybody, I'm back. I'm currently looking for the... Okay, here we go. Here's Hound. I want to see if I can get a picture of his... Okay, so this is what we basically get. Now, this is the front facing of the package. The side facing, let's see here. What is this the side? Okay, no. Hold on, let's go back to the beginning. Oh my god, really? Okay, fuck it, we'll just do this. Okay, see if we can find... Okay, so... This is the side. When there should have been them focusing on Hound, what does it do? It focuses on the fucking Combiner form instead of Hound. They had a chance to put Hound in a better light on this panel, but no. We'll put it to Skyrain. What the fuck is that shit? You know? So we got Skyrain, we got the front of this the package is just the comic book. If I remember correctly, I think the pack here. Hold on, let me go back to this. Oh, I can't even show you because the fucking comic book takes up everything. But if you look on the side next to the comic book, it's like a blueprint or a spec or whatever you want to call it. I think that if you removed the comic book, it's been so long since I took it out of the package, but I think if you remove the comic book, it looks like the spec background. So you really don't even get a decent picture of Hound. And then to top it off, the Hound, the toy doesn't even match the fucking Hound of the comic book. Oh, just so much failure here. Just so much failure. The only saving grace for this package is the fact, you know, this is one of the last few times for some reason. Here, let me see if I can zoom in on it. Oh, of course you can't. Oh, of course you can't. You want to zoom in? You want to see some? Oh, this isn't, well, I want to yell at Hasbro. It's not Hasbro's fault. Anyway, but you actually have a decent, you know, biography for Hound. This is, I'm not sure what it is, but it seems since, you know, Combiner Wars, it went from a decent size, like a paragraph almost, to like a sentence, to literally nothing. How do we go from, you know, having decent descriptions for each figure to nothing? Nowadays it's literally just stock photos of the figure in various poses. You know, I can make those fucking poses if I wanted to. I want a fucking biography for that character. Give me a bio or something. Is that too much to fucking ask for, Hasbro? And apparently the answer is yeah, it's too much to ask for. But yeah, for some reason, even this green doesn't match the color of Hound that was on the package. Ugh, god damn it! It's almost 4, and I'm getting pissed, and I'm on a break. It's just like, oh my god, I should not be getting pissed over this figure. Okay, so let's see here. Is this a repaint? No, this is not a repaint. Thank God. Now that's the question. I know that this is a retool. It's a retool of Swindle from the Combaticons. God damn it! Stand still there. I know that this is a retool of Swindle, but does retool also include repaint? Because, you know, I'm kind of confused about how repaint and retool is. Isn't repaint just like, let's say it was Hound, but in G2 colors? Would that be a repaint? Or if it's a retool, does that also classify as a repaint? I've always been kind of confused about that. Okay, so now let's move into the construction, ladies and gentlemen. The majority is plastic. This figure is plastic. And it's not even, you know, it's not even a good kind of plastic. But anyway, this figure is mainly plastic. There are some pins in this figure. Let's see here. 1, 2, 3. Hold on. It looks like 3. I don't really see anything. Hold on. 3, 4. Oh, there's even I didn't put in my description, but there's also a couple screws here. But it's mainly plastic and pins, and there's 2 screws. But like I said, the plastic, it just fucking feels so goddamn cheap. This figure is cheap overall. It's cheap to the eyes. It's cheap to the. It feels cheap. If it could talk, it'd probably talk cheap also. It'd be like you'd find this thing selling used cars. Hi, would you buy a used car from me? Durability, even though the figure looks cheap, it actually does have some heft to it. I will give them credit. Hasbro did not totally fuck it up. This thing has some heft to it. I think it could last against a child a couple days if that child was just having a real bad day and just constantly throwing against a wall, you know. I think it could survive a few days of that. But just because has a little bit of heft and it feels like it feels like it's a little durable, it doesn't mean that the figure's good. It takes a lot more, it takes a lot more, at least to me, for a figure to be good than just being able to bounce it off the wall a few times. No. It needs to, have high marks and other things. Points of articulation. This is for robot mode only. Yes, this has points. I'm not going to go through like everything because you can, if you have the figure, you already know what what it does. But point of articulations, it has head movement, shoulder movement, elbow movement, hips, legs, thighs, knees, and ankles. The only thing, I don't think I put in bicep, but this also has bicep rotation and stuff. So, is this a retool? Yes, this is a retool of Swindle, and just like putting useless fucking gimmicks on figures that don't need those gimmicks, I am not a fan of retools or recolors, especially retools. Retools, in my opinion, is a way to basically kind of finagle money out of consumers by giving them a product that they basically already have. And I hate to say it, I bought into it. I bought into it. I was so desperate to get back into collecting Transformers that I bought this guy. I bought the special pack of Combaticons. But it just to retool something just kind of, in my opinion, it kind of makes it where that they're just too lazy to do a whole new mold. I'd rather have a new mold of Hound rather than have basically Hound with gaudy neon colors with a Decepticon logo splashed on him. I would rather have something unique and not a fucking retool or a recolor, basically. Okay, let's see here. But let's see here. Okay, so that was basically my thoughts about this figure. But now let's actually go to the scorecard. Now, if you've watched any of these product reviews that I've done recently, I have a scorecard, and I kind of break it into like 4 groups, and each group has a few sections. So basically, let's talk about the cost. When I bought this figure, like I showed earlier, the figure was $37.91 but as of December 2022, the figure is still available on Amazon, on the Amazon website for $49.99. To be blunt, now that I look at the figure and I bought, was this figure worth $37.91? No, it wasn't. This figure has some quality control issues, and like I said, the main one is that fucking back part. I don't know where that fucking piece went. I looked for it. Apparently, it went into the same fucking negative zone that the light bar from Elita 1, Legacy Elita 1 went to. Wherever they are, they're just fucking floating in the abyss. You know, they're somewhere, they're just floating. They're probably floating in the same abyss that Jimmy Hoffa is. Yeah, that's a fucking dated reference if you ask me. But yeah, they're somewhere with Hoffa and all the other mysteries of this goddamn world. Okay, with that rant done, let's continue on. So, availability, basically. Oh, the price I gave it a 4 out of 10. The availability, I give it, basically, also see the previous section, but I gave it a 9 out of 10, basically, because you could still buy this figure. So, you know, at least you still have a chance to get it. That gets a total of 13 out of 20. Interactivity, weapon storage, not counting hands. This has 2 other ports. So basically 4 weapon storage locations. And I was kind of generous. I gave it a 5 out of 10. The contents, we got the minigun and a combiner of hand slash foot slash gun. Let me do slash gun. There we go. Hand slash foot slash gun. Honestly, the minigun is what kind of gives this the score of 5 out of 10. If the minigun was not there, I would have been really lowering this down to like a 2 or a 1 or even a 2, you know. So basically we got a 10 out of 20 for that section. Visuals. The coloring, although near, you know, the same coloring as their G1 counterpart, just seems off. And like I said, you know, when I was showing the figure, it makes a figure look ugly. It makes it look uglier than what it already is. Regarding overall, their visual aesthetics, I'm not a fan of this figure at all. The figure looks cheap. It looks like something I would expect at a dollar store under a generic name. You know, like you know what I'm talking about. You've gone to stores where, like, especially like the dollar stores where you expect to find the cheapest of the cheap. This figure looks like it belongs at the dollar store. Somehow it just managed to sneak into Amazon where I bought it. You know, I was like, I'm gonna get bought by that idiot over there. Regarding faithfulness to the source material, hold on, there we go. I see what they were trying to do, but honestly, this figure flopped in my opinion, and that's what it is. This is just my opinion, ladies and gentlemen. This is just my opinion. So, you know, like I don't speak for anyone. This is just my take on it. The box art, just like the figure itself, the package is pretty plain and generic. Is this a repaint? No. Oh, by the way, see here. Faithfulness, it got a 1 out of 10. Box art, 1 out of 10. Is this a repaint? No. It's 5 out of 10. I gave this section a total of 9 out of 50. Construction materials, mainly the majority of the figure is plastic, but there are some metal pins and screws. Metal pins and 2 screws. And that still doesn't raise out of the 5. The best I could give it is a 5 out of 10. Quality. Not only does the figure look cheap, it actually just feels just as cheap. Durability. And like I mentioned, that I figure that this figure could go a couple days of serious abuse from a child. So that's actually, you know, one of the good things about this figure. One of the few good things. Points of articulation. We have, like I said, there's a head, shoulders, elbows, hips, legs. Hold on, let me just put in biceps. Biceps, elbows, hips, legs, thighs, knees, and ankles. And I give it a 9 out of 10. Is this a retool? Yes, it's a retool of Swindle. I'm not a fan of retooling. It's just a way to push out another figure instead of actually taking the time to build a new figure with a new mold and everything. 3 out of 10. This section gets a total of 23 out of 50. So here's the section totals. Cost, it's a 13 out of 20. Interactivity is a 10 out of 20. Visuals, it's a 9 out of 50. Construction is a 23 out of 50. It equals out to a total of 55 out of 140, which gives it a percentage of 39.285%, which if you round up, it goes to 39%. It's an F. It's a fucking F. I expect more. I would expect. Hold on, let me. I would expect this type of effort if this was the very first product line of Transformers. Not a product line, not a product of a toy line or a toy IP property, whatever you want to call it, that has been out since what, 85, 86, maybe even 84? What? It's been what, 20, almost 30 years possibly that this figure was out? That they've been creating Transformers? No, I'm not expecting perfection, but whatever this fucking thing is, I expect it not to be this. Oh my god. I expect it to not be this. And that's what's fucking sad. Everything from poor QC to just overall feeling cheap to looking cheap to just looking like it should not. This looks like it is the mentally challenged distant relative of Transformers. Yeah, that's how I feel. Feel about it. That's how it. There you go. Don't fall. Thank you. Okay, well, back to this. Okay, here's the positive, negatives, and pet peeves. Positives. Believe it or not, I actually do have some positives to mention. Even though I didn't showcase it or score it, this figure does have an easy and simple conversion from robot alt mode and back. I'm not going to show it because I just don't feel like fucking, toying with that figure that as much more, The articulation is decent. If you want a figure that has articulation, this figure has it. Shit, it's just it's going to be lacking a lot of other stuff. I do like the weapon accessory that this figure came with. I'm gonna clarify that though. Although I do not like the combiner accessory. There. I like the weapon, not the combiner accessory. Okay, here is the negatives, and there are a lot. There's two more negatives and positives. The product looks cheap. The product feels cheap. Lack of proper amount of metal pins is a concern. It's like this thing looks like it's being held together by plastic, and thank God I don't play with these figures, because the fact that it's held together with plastic in some areas, I'm worried about what prolonged playing with could do to that figure. I have old Marvel action figures that were that they substituted the metal pins for the joints with plastic, and they did not last that long, ladies and gentlemen. Hound is a retool of Wave 5 Swindle. To me, a retool is a cheap way to make money instead of actually earning the consumer's money. And I did mention it. I did. I did. So I should. Well, I'll just leave this here. I didn't mention it, but this figure is another needless combiner that didn't need to have that function. I'm sorry, but to me, I'm not saying Transformers should not have that function, but specific ones, the ones that have been kind of already introduced as having that function, like the aerial bots, the Combaticons, I can't recall if they're called Monster Cons. It's the one that forms Abominus or whatever. Those ones, the Predacons. Those are the ones that I would expect to be combiners. But when you literally slap each and every character with the ability to combine, it loses that luster, ladies and gentlemen. That's what really upsets me. It loses that luster. Do I recommend this figure? No, this figure is a major letdown. I wouldn't even suggest that you get this figure if you find it for a cheap price. The many faults that this figure has prevents me from suggesting this figure at all. If you really need a Hound figure, I suggest a War for Cybertron Siege, or their take on Hound. Or even if you're patient enough, you can wait for the upcoming buzzworthy Bumblebee Hound. I feel that either of those would should help with your need to have a Hound figure. And to be honest, I am going to get the buzzworthy Bumblebee Hound because, from what I understand, that's supposed to be like it's supposed to be like the Earth alt mode for Hound. So, but as always, you're probably going to wonder what I'm going to do with the little minigun. And what I'm going to do is what I've done with a lot of my other figures. I'm going to give it to Hound, to the Siege Hound. Granted that the handle doesn't go all the way down; it stops, but still, it looks a lot better with this Hound than whatever this thing is. I'm sorry, I know it's Hound, but I just look at this thing, and this guy can literally beat the shit out of this guy. Like, I'm sorry, just it doesn't work for me. So, what am I going to do after this review? Like always, ladies and gentlemen, it is going to go back on the shelf in the back where, I know that it's there, but I don't have to look at it. I am going to be nice and I'm going to let it keep its little, blaster. This thing, I don't want to call it a weapon, but I'm going to. Hold on, let me. Come on. There it goes. I'm just going to put it here. My God, this looks so fucking stupid. I mean, I'm just not a fan of it. Yeah. But like I said, they got my money already, ladies and gentlemen. So what can I really do about it? And the answer is nothing. I'm just going to live with this thing sitting on my shelf to the end of time, basically. We hate each other. He hates me, I hate him. And that's the way it's going to be, ladies and gentlemen. Okay, but hold on. Let me close that. But as always, before I actually end this review or this video, hold on. I am actually, oh God, the damn camera is starting to go blurry again. Hold on. Oh my God, really? I don't know why it does that. Hold on, let me, here, I'll just, for being a, okay, there it goes. For being a HD cam, I'm wondering if it's the lighting. I only have one lamp on anyway, so. But before I could, end this recording, I actually found a way, to kind of decide what I'm going to review next. So I made some spinner wheels. And each wheel has a different thing. Like this one, it's going to be what product line should I review next. So let's take a look here. Hold on. Okay, so what is it going to be? Ooh, okay, so it looks like it's going to be a Titan's Return toy line. So, hold on, Titan's Return. Next, what class of figure should it be? What class figure? So let's take a look here. Okay, it's a Prime Master, so we got to respin. It has to be a line, a class within that Commander class. Okay, so I don't have. There's no Commander class in Titan's Return. Let's try it again. Okay, let's try it one more time. Let's see here. What do we got? Titan Masters. Okay, so it will be. It's going to be a Titan's Return. It will be a Titan Master. And then the final question. What alliance? Is it going to be Decepticon or Autobot? Let's take a look here, ladies and gentlemen. Let's check this out. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, so the next review of whatever, my next review, it will be an Titan Master Autobot from the Titans Return line. So, let's see here. So this is actually a little bit late getting this out. I normally do reviews on Mondays, Wednesdays, Fridays, and Saturdays, and today's actually Thursday. But the next review will be an Autobot Titan Master from the Titans Return toy line, and that will be released tomorrow, which is the 23rd of December 2022. And until the next time, my name is Jeff, aka GCurse. Wishing you all a great day. Stay safe, everybody. Peace out.